In this video I'd like to show you how to back up your TomTom using WinRAR. First, of course, we connected up the TomTom, then we'll open up WinRAR and we'll click that upper level button until we get to our devices, and as you can see here my TomTom is device F, so we'll click on it once and then click on the add button at the top. Now we now have to decide where we want to put this. I normally like to store things on the desktop until I'm finished with it, and then we can put it somewhere else. So we'll click on browse. I'll tell them to go to the desktop, and in here down the bottom where the file name is where we put the new file name that we wish to call it, and in our case we'll call it TomTom Backup. Then click on the open. This takes us back to the screen where we can set the parameters. The first thing we need to do is make sure we check the test archive files. What this does is makes WinRAR test the files afterwards to make sure that they're 100% okay. The other option, of course, if you wish, is to change the compression method to whichever suits you. I'll just click on best because it's the smallest file size, and then we click on OK. Now this will start the backup process, saving the information to our desktop. Now we're coming to the end of our backup now. It should only take a couple more seconds to finish. Now if there is any errors whatsoever, WinRAR will pop up a screen saying that there's an error. As you can see, nothing's happened now. But remember, if an error comes up, there's something wrong. It's not a good backup. It's not 100% okay. In our case here, there's been no errors, so I can presume now that everything is okay with this backup here. Now, there's one more thing I'd like to do. I'd like to change this into what's known as a self-extracting archive. It just makes it easier to put back on the TomTom when you're finished. Now, to make an SFX file, all we have to do is double click on our backup. Click on the SFX icon in WinRAR, click on Advanced SFX Options. Now in the Path to Extract area we see it's got drive letter C. Now we know that my TomTom is on drive letter F, so all I have to do is change this to the letter F and then click on OK and then OK again. Now this will make the file on the desktop, so I'll just switch this off now, and as you can see, here's our file. To install this on the TomTom is very simple. Just double click it, and as you can see it's already picked the drive letter F, which is correct, and all we have to do is click on install, and this will install the backup back on to our TomTom. So before they do this, let's just switch this off. We know that this archive is okay because there was no errors. Now I'd like to make sure that this one is okay, the executable, because this is a file that I will save later from my backup. So the easiest thing for me to do to make sure 100% that everything's working is to open up my TomTom on drive F, press Ctrl and the letter A to select all the files, and then press delete, and this will delete all the files on my TomTom. Now I know that my TomTom backup archive, there was no errors, so I know that everything's okay with that. Like I said, I just want to check my executable to make sure that that's going to be working okay properly. So now I'll just double click on my executable file, click on install, and it will now start installing all the files onto my TomTom. So now we're coming to the end of our installation back onto our TomTom. If everything is gone to plan and there's no problems, we'll see that they'll come up without any errors. And as you can see, there's no errors. So now we have to check the TomTom to make sure that everything is 100%. So now we switch off the TomTom, disconnect it from the computer, switch it back on, and make sure that everything is okay. Check for your voices, points of interest, and your favorites to make sure that everything is okay. And if you're satisfied with this, we can now use this executable device or the archive for the executable as a decent backup, knowing that it works 100%. The only thing I do like to do is I like to rename them to something which makes sense to me. Like I like to put a date, so let's say it was the 4th of March. I type 0403 2008. That tells me that was the last time I backed to my TomTom, and then I know where I am with my backups, and if I need to go back because I've made a mistake somewhere, I know which one was my last one made.